So what are you entitled to if you get in an auto accident and it's not your fault? Somebody else is at fault for the auto accident. Great question. My name is Candace Hartley. I'm a personal injury attorney here in the state of Florida, and I can absolutely answer this question for you. What you're entitled to from the at-fault driver depends on the amount of insurance coverage that they carry. That's nationwide, but here in the state of Florida, it's even more important because people don't have to carry bodily injury coverage here in the state of Florida to be insured. Only state in the U.S. that doesn't require it. Now, what you're also entitled to depends on what you carry in coverage as well, and I know that doesn't seem fair. I know a lot of people are always upset when I tell them what their insurance might be required to pay or has to pay or how it gets involved, because here in the state of Florida, it's a no-fault state, meaning that you're required to carry personal injury protection coverage, meaning that your insurance is actually always going to have to be notified if you're in an accident, because they are the primary payor. Any providers that you see out of the auto accident, your insurance company. So people always get really upset with that. Now, the at-fault driver, what they're responsible for, assuming they have these particular coverages, are the property damage that's owed to you from the damage they did to your vehicle. And there's a line item in their coverage called bodily injury coverage. That's the coverage you're not required to carry here in the state of Florida, but you should carry in order to protect yourself financially and to compensate anyone that you injure. Now, what you're entitled to out of that bodily injury coverage from the at-fault driver's insurance isn't always the limits either. It depends on your injuries associated with the claim, the treatment that you get, your past medical bills, your potential future medical bills, your past pain and suffering, your potential future pain and suffering. So just because, let's say that someone has $1 million in coverage doesn't mean that you're entitled to that $1 million just because they were at fault for an accident. You would have to show the insurance company that your claim is worth that amount. So you're also potentially entitled to diminished value. If you have a newer vehicle, the vehicle was damaged in an accident, you could get potentially diminished value out of that. You get loss of use out of that. There's some other smaller line items that you might be entitled to. So it's always really beneficial to contact a personal injury attorney after you've been in an accident. You don't have to hire them if you don't feel like it's necessary. It's helpful to understand what you may be entitled to based on the insurance coverages. But the first thing they're going to have to do is investigate the insurance coverages. They're going to have to find out how much coverage is available, and that will dictate what you're entitled to.